Need to tighten, no took her to Hermes. Got her items up, what and it fucked up. And the spider home. Free the guy down the road, gotta hide the phone. Had my name from the street, not the microphone. Ain't no sleep, she on 2, I took Adderall. Niggas act like they us, but they not at all. Caught the baddest shit that we forgot to call. I put down in my teeth like on power wall. Pretty titties, her whole body sauce off. Hold the back of her head till her jaws locked. I don't care what he do, he a cornball. Extra layers, I'm dressing, I'm stuffed gang. I'm the real one, 2 million on pinky ring. Come through pimping like Pinky without the cane. Niggas thinking they happy, they Eddie Kane. I been putting on this stuff since my baby frame. Walk around with $1, that's pocket change. Niggas think that you smart till you knock the brain. I done Roberts the Rover like I'm the flame. Me and Ski trying to see who the coldest shit. If I see it with bro, I don't know the bitch. Extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time, extra stuff every time when I'm stepping out. Put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time, put on stuff every time when I'm stepping out.
8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Wow, breaking the 9. Inside the spot, you know 3 of them mine. Look like one oak and they one of a kind. 3 of a kind. Put on my ice and all 3 of them blind. I put grease in my soda, I'm trying to get fried. She rocking that outfit, she trying to get high. Rubbers on rubbers, I never get tired. Bought her that ice and I know she still lying. Brought number 1 on the plane cause she fly. Brought number 2 a new whip, she got dry. Brought number 3 a new Gucci, suck dick. Brought number 4 a new sticker, she 5. Brought number 5, she the 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. Yeah, one at a time. Yeah. Bring them all of them. Yeah. Wow. 8x8, 36, 0 waste, 3 on 3, my type of date. All this stuff, I might be late. It's all this stuff, 8x8. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Stuff, 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 stuff. Wow.
Today, we're going to talk about the squad ride for at least 20 minutes at the end of the show, cover all the games in CBB and the NBA. This is Behind the Lines. I mean, Chucky Hepburn had Boopie Miller in jail. It was tough to watch. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen. Boopie Miller missing layups left and right. Couldn't cover a parked car. You got Chucky Hepburn jacking up threes. Didn't have a chance because for some reason, I don't know why, but in hockey, a 2-goal lead is actually like losing. It might be worse than losing. You might as well be losing, because a 2-goal lead is never safe.
This feels like a game where Ohio State can make this weirdly close, but it's a game where you look at it and you're like, okay, Purdue should dominate at home, and you turn it on because it's a tied game with 3 minutes left and Ohio State's fighting. I think this is going to be a close game when really on paper it shouldn't be at all.
And then I see this quote from the coach, his starting center, Tomislav. He literally said, deathly ill. The kid's sitting on your fucking bench. What are you talking about? He's deathly ill. He looks fine to me. And if he is that sick, why is he sitting next to the rest of your team? Are the neurons in your brain not functioning? What's going on up there in Illinois? What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, episode 639 piece, the best BTL of the week. As always, hold the fry, joined by your 2 hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Pickets, start this weekend. All right, get ready for college basketball Saturday, loaded slate tomorrow. Start tracking your bets tomorrow over there on Bookit Sports. I know the slate's not great today, but set yourself up for success. All right, start tracking your bets over there on Bookit Sports, the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store, Google Play. Jovan, I'm hearing some W spaces in the chat. How'd that go yesterday?
Dubs, you're labbing for a little college baseball. It's starting up today.
Sure. Splash Dre, we'll talk about it. Okay. And UCLA, yeah, that's maybe the only great game today in CBB. But let's go and get the recaps done. It was never the heat on Jovan's birthday. It would have helped if we had a couple of their players playing.
Would have been nice.
We knew beforehand.
Would have been nice.
Fuck.
But what are you going to do?
Damn it. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to spend 20 minutes at the end of the show today. We are going to stop whatever we're doing at 1:40 Eastern. And we are going to spend 20 minutes, I don't care if we finish early, crafting up the squad ride plays. And I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 today. Quality over quantity. All right?
Uh-huh.
We're going to lock the fuck in. It's pretty much what I'm getting out there, chat. We got to focus more on the squad rides. We got to turn this ship around. Plain and simple. All right? Let's check out the Sharp report from yesterday. and see how we did. Jovan, 3-2. We take that.
Take that. Krabs back-to-back rumors.
Yeah, W Prize Pick Squares. My goodness. We cashed a Sharp Report 4-man. Can we clap it up for that? And this squad ride was cake, and that sucks. It's most important. So I'm not going to sit up here and do a backflip. But W Sharp Report 4-man yesterday. Good that we got one. Okay. And after an 0-5 day a few days ago, I believe on Wednesday, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, 5-0 once again. Back-to-back 10-0 in the last 2 days. Let's fucking go. I really want to run it back today and go 5-0 again.
If you go 5-0 on today's slate for a three-peat, you might be greatest better of all time.
I mean, I absolutely love my card today. Woke up early without my alarm, naturally, after a 5-0 day yesterday. I'm ready to roll. You know what woke me up today?
What?
The Maction. The Maction in CBB today. That's what woke me up naturally. No alarm needed. I was up and at 'em early. Big day today. I want to run it back. I really don't want to get fat, happy, and complacent here. And I want to go 15-0 to end the week. And looking at my slate today, I'm loving these plays. Maybe too much. We all know what that means. But let's stay hot, chats. Let's stay dialed in. And we're going to go quality over quantity in the squad ride poll. We don't need 5 plays in that puppy because you guys are going to find a way to click the wrong button. We're going to give you guys 2 or 3 winners. We're going to cut them down, and we're going to pick our spots a little bit better because we're feeding you guys too many NBA overs that are cake, too many NBA plays that are cake, and too many fake sharp CBB plays from me that have just been absolute cake. So we're locking in. We're cutting the card down, quality over quantity tonight, and we're cashing a squad ride heading into the weekend. Sure. It's the only option we have. There's no other path. There's no other option. It's all we fucking got, and it's what we're going to do. All right? So I hope you guys are with me. Let's lock the fuck in. We got some W subbies coming in at the end of TMA as well. The Juice, Desert Punk, Esto, off the ganj. We appreciate you, Beast. Some OGs. And W, Mikey, and Joshy this morning getting us up and moving with TMA. You guys are killing it. Jay Rich, the follow. We appreciate you on Twitch as well. W's. Okay. I'm not going to sit up here and roast the voters for clicking the wrong buttons. It's our job to give you guys winners and winners only in the squad ride poll. It's not your fault.
Only one. Only one where some of the voters get blamed is the Jazz.
Well, that was a meme vote.
That was a troll. That was a troll vote when nobody liked it. Other than that, that's the only one with shared responsibility.
Sure, but I'm telling you guys, it's not on you. Have you had your fastball clicking the right buttons of late? No, you haven't had your fastball, but you know what? That's our fault for not giving you the opportunities to click the right buttons. That's on us. Okay, and today we're turning it around. I'm done losing these fucking squad rides. This shit's my baby. It's the most important thing we got going. We got to turn this ship around, and we're doing it tonight. All right? V-Day dinner does not pay for itself. We have to cash the squad ride tonight. Plain and simple. All right?
Got to get it up and moving.
All right, let's hop into it then. Let's get right to it. Let's cut the shit. We got nothing else to recap. And again, W Sharp Report 4-man yesterday. Cannot let that get swept. We got the Gummy 1 coming in, resubbing with Prime as well. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, let's hop in and talk about some plays for today. And Jovan, after giving that pump-up speech, getting people hyped up and riled up, this might turn the shit back around in the wrong direction here. But it has to be done. It has to be done. Fading the mount. Oh, it does not feel right. But fading the mount and backing Niagara at home in this spot. Guys, I wouldn't give this to you if I didn't think it was my favorite play today on the fucking board. If it wasn't number 1, favorite play today, any sport, any league, any conference, it wouldn't be up here. Okay, you guys know I don't want to sit here and fade them out. But we have to do it today for a couple reasons. Number 1, on the surface, it's a sharp line. Probably the sharpest of the day. Shout out the Mount, 13-10 with the injuries they've dealt with. Jovan, I mentioned Dallas Hobbs to you before, I think on BTL, definitely off the show as well, but one of our better shooters on the Mount. He's hurt. He's out, and they're already dealing with Terrell Art being out the last couple games. Haven't heard any sort of timetable for him returning. And ever since he's been out, he's been their glue guy, their 6th man coming off the bench, their 3rd leading scorer. This team has kind of fallen off a cliff. I know they've bounced back and showed some heart and pulled off 2 gritty wins since that injury, but they've had way more losses since then. And they had a great start to conference play and a great start to the season when they were all healthy, right? They beat Miami. Great start for the Mounts. But these 2 injuries, Jovan, I personally think it's just too much to overcome. I'm going to put my basketball brain on here in the mid-majors today. No need to get super cute. No need to overthink it here. The Mount is an underdog today for a reason. They should be an underdog on the road. okay, because they're without two of their best players, in my opinion. And although they have two really good big men in this game, I think Niagara's a favorite for a reason. A team that's been struggling this season, but they've won 3 of their last 4. And this was a team that I circled in the MAC that I thought has a chance to maybe be an underdog story, a Cinderella, if you will, in this conference. Another must-win spot for them as they continue to climb up the conference leaderboards. I think it's Niagara today, without a doubt, on the ML. And I hate to say it, but we're fading them out.
Unbelievable, Krabs. Unbelievable.
If I wasn't in love with it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm tipping cap. You are hot right now, and who am I to say otherwise? And you definitely like the slate a lot more than I think I do. So I'm certainly down to lean into some of your plays, especially in CBB.
All right, let's swing it around and see what you're crafting up for today. First straight bet on the cards. What is that, soccer? Sure.
Yeah, quick trip to the pitch, Krabs. Of course. Sure. You got a short slate, especially on Friday when there's a couple like of these standalone games in the league. Typically, we make the trip, whether it's to Italy, sometimes France, but in this case, we're going to Spain. So I'm certainly in to do that. We got Girona up and moving today, who's playing Getafe, which Getafe, a friend of the program. I think I've had him a couple times on here, and they've paid in some pretty gross spots. This is it's a strange game because it's very two contrasting teams, because Getafe which is a lot of the reason why I like to bet them when they're in pretty gross spots. They play just like the classic. Any casual fan gets annoyed by their style of play because it's gross. They play a lot of ball possession. They sit in the back and they just make it nasty, make it gross. They never really attack unless they really have to. Girona's the exact opposite. They're like super attacking based. And in this game, that's pretty important because they're trying to vie for like European competition. I think they're in 7th or 8th. So they need to get up there. They need some points. I think with a win, they're 1 back. So this is a pretty crucial game. And not only that, but their coach is always critical against not only Getafe, but like other teams that play like this. So you can probably say the game's really, really important for standings purposes and European competition purposes, but he also has a vendetta against these type of teams. And the two managers are actually decent friends side by side. So I think they're going to come out with a little purpose. I think the line is pretty odd too, because for two teams that, like especially Getafe, they get a lot of line respect because they play super gross. So it's really hard to, I guess, not give them respect because they make every game close. They're on a 5-game unbeaten streak in La Liga just because a lot of these games are 0-0, 1-0, like something like that. So to see as big a difference, I guess, as there is between the MLs is pretty surprising. I would have expected Girona to be a little closer in terms of like plus 150 or something of that sort, but they're damn near to pick them, which is pretty surprising. I think pretty telling of what's going to happen in this game. So I think they come out aggressive, and even though it might not be 3-0, 4-0, because that's not how Getafe plays, I think it can be a 1-0, 2-0 victory.
Is this an in-reg bet? Is this just an overall money line bet?
Yeah, this is a regular.
We have all our bases covered here.
Yeah, okay. regular game, regular league game.
Perfect. All right. What is their name again, bro? Geronimo?
Girona. Girona.
Okay. Oh, I'm trying to tail it. Looks like it's at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Okay. Some early afternoon pitch cake. Let's fucking go, Jovan.
Need that.
There we go. Love that. Had to get deep in your bag today. I know the slate is not ideal, but still got to grind and find some winners. Love it.
Don't have a choice.
Love it. Yep, Goots. Geronimo money line. Sure. All right, Goots. Swing it back around. Not Canadian Goots. I'm talking about our Goots here. Give me the Siena Saints on the ML. Again, some more action for you guys, as if you didn't have enough already. Fade them out. Go ahead and give me Siena, the Saints, a team that I also circled in this conference to be a little bit better than they were last year. A college basketball program that's been struggling the last couple seasons, but about 5-10 years ago, this was a solid program. They put some money into the program this year. They have a couple $1 million in NIL, and they have a couple young studs on this squads, and they've started to play better, in the middle and second half of conference play here. They haven't been winning all their games, but they've covered 4 of their last 5, and I think this spot against a Marist team that has looked like absolute dog shit their last 2 games after the hottest start in the conference. Sure, Marist is solid. They were good last year as well, but do I think they're as good as their 16-5 record? I know for a fact they're not. Now they got to head to the road and play a really gritty, tough Siena team that's a favorite, sitting 2 games under 500. Marist is top 3 in the conference, but they're coming off of 2 losses. I think you fade Marist again for a 3rd time in a row. If you can lose to Iona, you can lose 3 games in a row, and that 3rd being to the Siena Saints on the road. I'll take them on the ML. They look sharp, being a favorite here in this spot, and I think Marist, their woes continue.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the same same as some of the other teams, but I know Siena kind of had their own rule Krabs for a while. Short slate, we're gonna have to break it. Take them.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been biased about this program because I remember growing up when I first started watching CBB, they were much better than they've been of late. But all I've been seeing on X, I guess I'm on Siena X sometimes, is how this program is trying to, build up from the grounds. And they put some money into the program, and they got two pretty good players in Schultz and Freeman, who are going to give them a chance, who are both averaging more than 14 points per game. And they got the big man Coyle, who, he's a veteran, W name, Brendan Coyle, a 6'7" kid from New York. They got enough to get this done against a Marist team that looks like a shell of themselves in their last two games compared to early on in the season when they were almost unbeatable. Let's fade the Red Foxes today.
Fair enough.
Has to be done.
God,
all right.
I hate Siena so much, but I'm gonna have to get involved.
It's not ideal. Short slate. Got to find the winners. Let's see what else you're cooking out.
Trust me.
See what else you're cooking out. Yep. Arizona baseball. W emoji. Let's go, Goots.
Yeah. Taking a trip to the Diamond with the Wildcats.
Sure.
Which they get to face Hunter Elliott. And he injury-riddled season, last year, didn't get to pitch. But he is coming back fully healthy this year with an Ole Miss team that they're facing that had another disappointing season, which I think was a surprise to everybody last year. So conventional wisdom will tell you they're going to be a little bit better this year. But I think there's too many question marks early on for this Ole Miss team. They play an Arizona team that's bringing a majority of their production back. Their lineup is ridiculously deep. They're not quite the same as all the other Big 12 teams that are kind of at the top or in contention. They're not quite power-based. They don't have as much power as an Oklahoma State or an Arizona State or even maybe comparable to like a TCU. But this lineup is incredibly deep. So I think they're going to make life tough for Hunter Elliott's return start, which I kind of want to buy into Ole Miss at some point. I don't think early in the season is the time to do it. But again, I think it's a little too early to get into the bounce back conversation with them. I think they might struggle out of the gate against some of these top teams. And Arizona, a team with so much experience from last year, a lineup like that's really going to challenge them. I struggled to think that Hunter Elliott's just going to come back like everybody thinks and be Cy Young from the start. So I think Arizona's going to make life tough on them. This is one of the great games of that tournament early on. And I think Arizona is certainly a team that I think is going to make national noise, and I think it starts tonight, getting a win over the Rebs, or I guess this afternoon. It's not a night game.
But ask, what time do we have first pitch?
I think it's at 4. Could be mistaken, 3 or 4.
4 Eastern? Cool. Just want to make sure we let the people know so they can get their slips in.
Yeah, 4.
W's. All right, we got a couple early starts on Jovan's card today. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Could be the difference on a Friday. Chat's bricked up. You got some college baseball involved. Let's go.
Yeah, kind of had to. Today's slate.
Okay. All right, we got a couple more straight bets here, Jovan. We will come back to the Spartans. For now, let's go to the PLL. Gosh, man, the whip snakes last night. I fed you guys cake once again. How about it? Ron is just absolutely dialed in. Absolutely dialed in right now.
Ron owns you, Krabs.
Yeah, he does. He owns me right now. I'll tell you what, though. Who else has been dominating in the PLL? Not just Ron. Liam Entenmann had a great first game for the Atlas, and I think he goes out there again and shows up today against the Archers, who it's pretty much, in my opinion, the Mac O'Keefe show. And don't get me wrong, Mac O'Keefe, one of the best players in the league. Great dudes, unbelievable shot. The lefty, one of the best 2-point shots in the game. That's why he had 7 points in his debut in the Champ Series 2 days ago in his debut. But I got to back my guy Liam Entenmann here. Stud goalie. He had one of the best performances I've seen in the championship series ever in the history of it in the last couple of years in his first game. And I think he shows up again today. The kid's just built different. He is the best goalie, or at least he will be in a couple of years. But he's already showing flashes of it right now. This kid's an absolute dog. And I'll back the Atlas in a must-win spot here on the ML.
I'm always down to back to Great Wall, Krabs. You know I'm in.
Sure.
Absolutely know I'm in. Might need Ron Muck's POD just to check, but of course.
I really hope it's not the other side. I do know that he's an Archers fan, though.
Yeah, he did come. He put that shit on the other day.
Full fit.
On stream. Full fit. It's legacies.
Yep. All right. Let's swing it back around. Jovan has one more straight bet for you guys. And I believe it's a late night CBB one. Yep.
Yeah. I've been riding the San Jose State wagon for pretty much the entirety of conference play. and they've been fantastic. It's kind of, I don't really know what team to compare them to because they're pretty unique, but it's one of those teams that everybody just consistently fades with some of the better teams in the conference, and they've continued to come through. And even without, their two best scorers last game, we had no McClendon and no Duje, and they really came out and should have won the game against San Diego State outright, had a really bad second half, but we're destroying them pretty much the entire way through up until that point. So, I mean, they've been goated pretty much this entire time, and I assume they're going to be without at least one of those guys today. Kind of seems like one of the two are not going to play, and there's been a little bit of steam, and I'm going to bet on the other side of it, but I really don't care all that much because San Jose State team is super balanced. It's not like they're very top heavy with McClendon or Uduje, even though they are the top two scorers. This Nevada team is so up and down, and the reason why is because they're so dependent on getting a lot from Nick Davidson, which against the San Jose State team, I don't think is the way you want to do it. When San Jose State's been really getting destroyed defensively, it's been by a lot of the guards and a lot in transition. So if you're relying on Nick Davidson to do that, obviously that's not the method you want to take. So I still think they're in a pretty good spot defensively without either of those two or both of those two. The question is just if their offense can keep up, and I think they can enough to make this a gross close game. So give me the Spartans.
We're going to talk about this game a little bit more when we get to the prize pick squares. And I hope you're okay with the square I put in. We'll talk about that in a second, though.
Sure.
I don't mind the late night dog here in this spot. I don't think Nevada has the juice like they did last season. Nick Davidson's still very good. But let's hope the Spartans can keep this game close. I know they're a little bit banged up, but if they are banged up and they're missing a couple of their stars, this spread's a little short, or at least it opened up short at 5.5. Maybe not at 7.5 right now, but that opening line, I feel like it's a really good sign for the under 500 Spartans here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in. Super down to tail. All right. Let's swing it around and talk about some prize pick squares, folks. Feeling good. We swept yesterday, knock on wood. Let's run it back today, Jovan. And I'll get it started out with Ryan Cornish, an absolute bucket in the Ivy League. This kid is an absolute stud. It's a Maryland kid as well. He's going to ball in a game tonight for Dartmouth against one of the worst defenses in college basketball, Columbia, who, sure, maybe they pull off the win. I'm not really sure who ends up taking this one. You couldn't pay me to take a side in this game, but I think we see points. I mean, look at the defense for Columbia. They've given up more than 90 points in 3 of their last 4 games. And Dartmouth, I know they don't play a lick of defense either, but they can put the ball in the fucking hoop. Ryan Cornish, I know he's been struggling of late, but this kid was averaging, close to 16.5 points per game. He still is right now. And he's up for 19.5 points on prize picks. My goodness, you don't see discrepancies like that very often. 3 points. And I think that's because this game is absolutely soaring over. We're blessed with an early start, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus between these two squads. Columbia's terrible defense is going to show in this game. And Ryan Cornish coming off a couple not so great performances. I think he shows up today and drops a 20 piece at least.
I'm down. I'm a Cornish guy, especially in this game.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I think I lean Dartmouth, obviously super high total, and they've got a defense that I think is pretty susceptible to anything on the perimeter that Ryan Cornish is going to give. So I'm down with that.
Yeah, we're going to have him hit his threes.
Yeah.
All right. W's. And then Donovan Yap, hate to do it, but I got to fade my mans tonight. Pretty popular square on prize picks is threes, Jovan. And I don't think he hits his threes tonight. I thought about taking his less than. I did end up getting scared off because Nevada, if there is one, really bad weakness for that defense, it's their 3-point defense, which is in like the high 200s in college basketball. They are susceptible to giving up the 3, but Donovan Yap, if you look at what he's been doing of late, Jovan, or this season, he has only followed up a game where he's had 2 or more 3-pointers with another game of 2 or more 3-pointers once this season. So let me go ahead and translate that for you. He does not follow up good games with another good game. Okay, he has a good game, and then he gets fat, happy, complacent, and doesn't do much. And in a game, he's coming off of 4 rebounds, which, his season high is 5. He pretty much just hangs on the perimeter the entire game and shoots threes. After he had a legacy performance, 36 minutes, 19 points, which is a season high for him. Good for Donovan Yap. Good to see that. And 4 rebounds. We have to fade him in this spot. But instead of fading his threes, I don't want to get burned, Jovan, if he ends up just hitting 2 threes, and then he has 6 points, no rebounds, and I'm sitting there with a losing square. I'll fade his points and rebounds combo, not thinking he's getting 4 rebounds again, thinking he's going to be standing on the 3-point arc the entire game, not doing anything, and probably going less than the threes, but just in case he does hit 2, I want to take this points and rebounds combo instead.
Yeah, I'd be in on this if we didn't have injury situations. Because the thing is, like, he hasn't had multiple good games in a row, but it's also, I mean, they haven't been missing 28 potential points per game in those bounce back games either. So if it comes out that McClendon and Uduje are playing, then yeah, I'm 100% in with you. If you don't, though, you might be in catch it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, looking at that line moving up to 7.5, I'd say at least one of those two guys is going to be out tonight.
Yeah, I would assume one of them's not playing, which makes me a little nervous for this.
Okay. All right, let's take a peep at your squares. Let's see what you crafted up for today, Jovan. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full transparency here. The only thing, because I don't have college here, the only thing that's going on today that I have like available squares for is the Rising Stars game. So
okay.
Extremely forced, obviously, but Reed Shepherd probably honestly would be here regardless.
Okay.
Reed Shepherd has really not been good this season, and he hasn't really gotten the opportunity to play. They're coming off a game like literally yesterday where it was really confusing to me, some of the rotations they had, because they had Aaron Holiday going up there and playing, what was it, like 37 minutes. They had a lot of chance to play a lot of the young guys that don't get a lot of run. Cam Whitmore, too. Trent was really mad, even though he ended up getting a DNP for it because he didn't play the second half. But he didn't play a minute in the second half. And that seemed like the perfect time for all of them to play their young guys. So now you're getting your opportunity. And he's playing for the team that has all the G League guys. And if anybody remembers what happened last year when they did this same format with a lot of the G League guys, the G League team actually won against one of the actual NBA teams in that game. So they come out and they play hard because this is their one chance on a national stage to show that they're worth a shit, frankly, and especially for a guy like Reed Shepherd, who is a high draft pick and has not been getting a single bit of burn, and he really hasn't been good when he has so far this season. I think he's going to do something in this game. I think he's going to be aggressive. So give me some Reed Shepherd, and then Stephon Castle. I have to do it. He's a guy like, if you remember Ben Matherin last year too, like all these guys that actually start shit and play with some kind of emotion in a lot of these games, and it kind of starts in the defensive end. They pick it up. The intensity's high. So like Stephon Castle's a guy that I think can do that on both sides of the court. So for his team specifically, I guess he could be the driver. So I wanted to take him too.
Okay. Stephon Castle, great ball player, man. I'm one of the Wizards to draft him. But we probably had too good of a pick, I guess, last year. Good thing we got Sarr. I'd probably rather have Castle, to be honest.
I think anybody would.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good. Plays both sides of the ball great. Whether it makes sense or not, or whether it's a good square or not, I'm super down to tail and get involved with Castle. Jovan, I haven't done much capping of this event tonight, but I'm happy somebody did. Somebody had to get out and do it.
Didn't have a choice.
And Reed Shepherd, I mean, come on, spark plug, microwave.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to bet on somebody in the G League team, really regardless. So I mean, that was really no different because those guys play hard. Those guys are looking for their opportunity. They're on national television now, of course. Their chance to show that they're worth something. So Reed Shepherd's like the really penultimate guy of that. I know like Alondas Williams did that last year, especially like 3-point shooters, because I don't think they have too many like knockdown shooters on that team. Reed Shepherd could be the guy. Alondas did that last year, and he was chucking.
Couple good questions here in chat. If they win, do you get both games? Good question, but no. It's only their matchup versus the team it says on the Prize Pick Square. So, like, for example, Stephon Castle, he's on Team Chris, and it says Stephon Castle versus Team Tim. So just in that game. And I believe they do play to 40 points. First team to score 40 points wins.
First round,
how this shit works.
First round is first to 40, and then the championship is first to 25. And then I think the winner, there's 3 NBA teams, right? And then the winner plays as the 4th team in the All-Star little 4-team tournament on Sunday.
Oh, really? Okay.
I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, chap, but I'm pretty sure that's how it worked.
All right. Very cool. And you know who's coaching the G League team? Are you happy?
Jeremy Lin, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
It's going to Reed Shepherd's insanity run right in front of the boy.
That would be something. Meant to be. You guys are going to see Jeremy Lin up and moving this weekend. Tonight, actually, excuse me. Sure.
Yeah.
Not playing.
Rockets legend. People forget Jeremy Lin.
Gosh, I mean, I still remember that legacy run. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Knicks
run was unreal.
Yep. All right. W squares, Jovan. It ain't much, but it's honest work. You got in your fucking duffel for this event tonight. I'm impressed. All right. Sure. I'm locking in that shop report 4-man. I'll drop the link at some point here.
I wish we could get some celeb game lines.
That would be cool. Anybody you know playing in that?
Yeah. Oh, new Kaisenat points.
Okay.
It would be a whale.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
Sure.
Not even kidding.
Oh, yeah?
He played last year and he was bitching because they wouldn't pass him the ball. Now he's back with a vengeance.
Okay. Does he have game like that?
No, he's not good, which is why they didn't pass him the ball. Also, he's like 3'2", but
yeah, he's
telling me he's like one of the biggest names, probably the biggest name from a content creator perspective, like in that game. And it's the only reason that he wouldn't come back if he wasn't getting the rock, man.
Wow, they have dunk contest squares up now.
Do they?
That's tomorrow night, folks. Don't get too excited. Okay, we got Mac McClung looking to defend his legacy here. I feel bad for Mac McClung at this point. I feel like nobody talks about him for 363 days out of the year. And then the 2 days they ever talk about him is just when they wheel him out for the All-Star event. And then they put him back in the fucking G League to rot. Is he actually good? Like, I see his points per game in the G League. He's balling. It seems like he's one of the better players in the league. If that's the case, why is he not called up to the big leagues?
Yeah.
What's going on with Mac McClung? Am I wrong here? Am I off?
I would argue he's got the best job in the world.
It's like a backup QB.
I mean, he busts in the G League and then gets the spotlight during the.
See, the problem is they just wheel him out, and he's like, it would be different if he was making an NBA salary doing that.
Yeah, but
he's getting the bonuses from winning
contest, and he also has sponsors. I'm sure he's doing.
I'm sure he gets. Yes, you're both right. I mean, you're both right on that.
Sucks he's got to live in Delaware, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, at least like what he does in All-Star Weekend, kind of. Not that his job would be at risk because he's good enough to stay in the G League, obviously, but that's an extra job security boost.
Yeah.
Sure. It's good luck. He's stepping up for the league. Got to respect it. They got him up for 97.5 round one score. I'll tell you right now, I'll have that less than in something.
Yeah.
I'll have that less than in something.
There's no way we're bringing contrarian squares to the dunk contest.
He's bringing out his fastball in round one? I hope not. That's not a winning recipe. Claw through round one, right? Barely get through, skate by. Don't show them what your best stuff, right? It's like starting pitchers. They don't give you their best, fastball in the first, second inning, right? You got to save that shit for the fifth or sixth when you're closing that puppy.
The thing is, like,
save some juice.
His fastball is like 98 with run. Everybody else's fastball is like 93 flat.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So like he could do something that does not take very much effort. Granted, I mean, we don't really know too much about what the other guys are going to bring, but he does stuff that's no effort that nobody else even like comes close to try.
So you're worried that Bazolis, Castle, and Andre Jackson might be so atrocious at this contest that whatever Mac McClung does, they're going to give the guy 100.
I mean, no, there's a little more unknown, I guess, with those guys and what they're going to bring. But I mean, people see Mac McClung and the judges see Mac McClung and the glaze.
That is true. All right. I still stand by my statement. I will have you less than in something.
It's fair.
But we can move off of Mac McClung.
If Jeffrey is correct. Last year doing it could be unfortunate.
He's already announced that. Okay. All right. I must have missed that graphic.
Fading his retirement tour.
You think he's three-peating? What is he, Pat Mahomes? Even he couldn't do it. You break, bro. All right. We got Sticks Picks coming in, resubbing. Let's go, Sticks Picks. Atta boy. Way to get involved, my man. We appreciate you. W5-month subby. Sure. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving, folks. I know the slate today is not great, but we do have some other stuff to talk about here. Why don't we go through the rest of the college basketball slate? Okay. Talk about some of the rest of the action here. Jovan loves him some action. Okay. You know what? I can't even wait to talk about this one. We're just going to go right to it. Goods. Apologies, but Ohio, Kent State. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's just get right to it. I can't wait anymore. Let's talk about it. Because I want to place Kent State again.
I'm going to join you.
This team has looked like the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors in the last 3 games. I wonder why. Probably because I forgot they existed in those 3 fucking games. Jovan, I can't resist. It's a Friday. It's the weekend. We're going to have a couple glasses of wine tonight. there's about a 0% chance I don't have a Kent State ticket in my pocket. And I'm laying the 5.5. I don't give a hoot. I'm not two-piece parlaying it. I'm not placing a greaser, right? I am placing the minus 5.5 on the spread for Kent State and the Golden Flashes here at home. Because they either cover this game and win by 10 or they lose outright by 10. There's no in the middle. There's no win by 2 or 3 in this case. They either get their shit rocked again by Ohio and come out like it's the first basketball game they've ever played in their entire life, or they do what they've done the last 3 games, and that's play like this Kent State team is supposed to, and that's like the best team in this conference. Kent State, get it done. Stay hot. You just beat Arkansas State. If you could beat Arkansas State, you can beat Ohio. All right? I know Ohio was picked to be the preseason number 1 team in this conference. People forget that. They were. But I'll tell you what, Jovan, they've had some injuries this season. They still have one pretty significant one. But Clayton is back for them. I will say A.J. Clayton's been back the last couple of games, their best player, their star, and he has looked like a shell of himself in those 3 games since he's been back. The minutes aren't there yet. They might be today after a couple more games off. This will be his 4th game back. But he had 15 points in the last game. Great, but he shot 4 for 13 from the field. He's off. 0 for 7 from 3, 0 for 2 from 3 the game before against App State in that weird conference challenge game. Okay? He's not the same guy he was in the beginning of the season that was carrying their offense. We have to fade Ohio in this spot and get our lick back on Kent State.
Has to be done, dude. I'm joining you. Absolutely joining you.
Has to be done.
Might be pissed, but it's all right. When Kent State wins by double digits, you can grab yourself and the lady a nice bottle of that Screaming Eagle Crabs.
Sure.
Spend some racks.
And then when Kent State loses, I can buy the Snoop Dogg wine at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, GG's.
Sure. All right. But all jokes aside, I'm placing a bet on Kent State. It'll be for 1 unit responsibly because that's the only unit they deserve. They're not getting more than that. But give me a break with that 5.5 line against Ohio. We all saw what happened in that first matchup. We were all there. Okay, don't forget about it. Has to be done. Has to be done. Yeah, and I will have nightmares tonight about Jackson Polofsky, or however the hell you say his name. That kid's a fucking beast when he wants to be. Yeah, whenever I'm against him, he's a beast. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. I just had to get that game out of the way, Jovan. I appreciate you talking through that one with me.
That'd be done.
You mentioned Columbia Dartmouth. I forget what you said. Did you say you leaned Dartmouth at home here?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I prefer the over in this game, to be honest with you, because I do think that correlates with Dartmouth. I think if they win, pretty darn good chance this game goes over. And I also think there's a chance the game could go over if they blow it. So kind of like that over 161.5, guys. It's that high for a reason. And I know these might be 2 mooshit teams on the surface, Columbia and Dartmouth, but don't let that scare you off this high total. Sometimes bad teams, that's a good thing for the over. They don't play a lick of defense. Columbia's given up 90 points in 3 of their last 4 games. They might have the worst defense in college basketball,
really
to
bad.
be completely honest with you. And Dartmouth can score. All right, I'm excited to watch this game. First game of the day today in CBB, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Give me the over 161.5.
Yeah, I could be so down for some over action. I'm in on that.
Perfect. Anything in St. Peter's Fairfield? The Peacocks, not the same squad they once were.
No, they're probably pretty dead, and I have no interest in catching the falling knife with them, personally.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then I realized I'm not falling for it again on St. Peter's, the Cinderella story, the team of destiny that just flat out sucks this year. Hate to say it. Would love to say otherwise, to be honest with you, after they blessed us up in March Madness a couple of years ago. They still do have Zakai Ziegler's brother, who's a pretty darn good player. He will be the best player on this floor tonight. He will be. Pretty stocky guard who can use his size to get to the rack. Not the best shooter, but pretty solid player. I lean St. Peter's. I don't like seeing Fairfield catch steam. I will say, I know St. Peter's hasn't won a game since, forever in weeks, but Fairfield's only win themselves was a buzzer beater full court 3 against Marist that was number 1 on SportsCenter top 10. So they probably didn't deserve that win, to be honest with you. Besides that, they haven't covered or won a game as well in weeks. Both these teams are absolutely atrocious. I would lean St. Peter's, but I'm definitely scared off with Fairfield catching steam. And I'm just not in a rush to bet that program after, their crazy run in March Madness over the years. I just think they're bad.
Yeah, fair.
Stetson Bang, Cash the Hatters. There you go, Goots.
Oh, Goots busting.
Attaboy. Sure. Dial into college baseball today. Let's go green. Ole Miss, Arizona today. Any thoughts on Ole Miss or Arizona? Well, Javon's on Arizona, so
Yeah.
any thoughts on Ole Miss in college baseball today, folks?
They play Arizona.
They're playing Arizona.
Oh, did. Okay.
VT's playing
Fading
right
the hell
now.
out of them Krabs.
VT,
Hokies.
Hokies are up and active.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think they started at 1.
Let's go, Hokies.
Shout out SBR for Stetson. I wiped crusties out of eyes. First thing I saw was his tweet. Locked in
Go
Stetson.
SBR.
Big 2-5.
Shout out SBR.
We got SBR lurking in chat. Let me see
He's in
him.
the lab, dude.
He's definitely in the lab. All right. Let's keep powering through some of these mid-major games here, folks. Oh, we got another one. St. Louis versus Sister Jean. Robbie Avila versus Sister Jean down low. We'll see how that one goes tonight. I feel like it's got to be St. Louis, Jovan. But we put St. Louis in that same bucket of Ohio State where whatever you're supposed to do, you do the opposite. And I think you honestly take Loyola Chicago here and Sister Jean because the sharp play is St. Louis. And if you bet like that involving this team, you're making coins this season.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing, Krabs. Whenever St. Louis is sharp, I refuse to take them because that is when they're cake.
Exactly.
So I will not be doing it today. I will tip my cap if they come through, and that would move their record to about 2-10 in that situation.
Yes. I mean, they look like one of the sharpest plays on the slate today, Jovan. They do, right? They've lost 3 of their last 4. Robbie Avila looks bad. He has all season. Okay. They're 14-11. People had this team as a Cinderella team. They circled new coach, new star player this year, right? They stink. They stink. And they do not respect coins. Whenever they look sharp, you fade. Just like Ohio State. I think it's Loyola Chicago here at home. I won't be betting it, but I certainly lean that way.
Sure.
Okay. What about Northern Kentucky and Green Bay? This might be worst game of the season.
Really horrendous game. I mean, I have no
this
interest.
This might be worst game of the year.
No interest in laying a touchdown with Northern Kentucky, but Green Bay is just a horrendous program out there. Just terrible.
Yeah. Why did I kind of want to take them today?
Because they're a horrendous program.
Oh, yes. You're right.
You love horrendous programs.
Well, they haven't beaten Northern Kentucky since World War II, I think.
Yeah.
It's been years. Maybe tonight's the night, down to 6.5. There is no world, planet, sun, moon, whatever you want to call it, where Green Bay should be catching steam in any spot. I don't care if the 5 starters on the other team all got injured before the game. There should be no steam caught for this Green Bay team. They might be the worst team in college basketball history. Actually, second worst. I apologize. Detroit Mercy last year was like 0-25. Okay. It might be Green Bay at number 2. And Jovan, they're catching steam.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they might be a look plus 6.5 here at home. You got Doug Gottlieb at this point. I mean, just coaching for his job. There's no way he has a seat on that bench next year unless something changes.
I mean, yeah.
He can't. I think it's fading the Norse today, man, and taking Green Bay at home. Plus 6.5. As crazy as it is. It's got to be the plus 6.5.
Norse are coming off of their only road cover of the season in their last road game.
Wow.
Won outright as a dog in Oakland.
Wow. Interesting. All right. I think it's Green Bay, folks, but how nasty do you want to get? That might be the nastiest play of the college basketball season. Green Bay is 2-23. And they're not just losing, they are getting crushed.
Mocked.
All right. Any thoughts on Princeton and Brown? Princeton, again, in that bucket of teams you just can't fucking fade. Although this season they're not great against the spreads. I don't want to get involved in fading that team, although it looks like Brown would be the sharp play on paper. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, for sure lean Brown, but don't have the stones to go there.
Okay. Any thoughts on Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart? Sacred Heart, low-key, one of the hottest mid-majors in college basketball.
Wagon.
They've been on fire. Winning, covering. They've already played this team early on this season. I'm talking, last year. And they lost by 10. Now they're plus 3.5 at home in the spot. I think Quinnipiac might be catching a point and a half of steam on the roads, which is not ideal. And I thought that was some respect for Quinnipiac, although they have beat this team already this season. So they're probably going to be favorites, but up to 4.5 on the books against the hottest team in their conference.
I don't know, dude. I've seen Quinnipiac with some crazy lines. Like I feel like every time I look at them in conference games, they're laying almost or actual like double digits or more. So, I mean, I know Sacred Heart's pretty hot. So, I mean, that's what you're getting a little bit of respect for them for, but almost feels, I don't want to say short, but feels right given what Sacred Heart's been doing lately.
I mean, I don't know if Sacred Heart has the bodies to even keep up with this pretty big Quinnipiac squad.
They did out-rebound them 34-26 in that first matchup. Granted, of course, it was in early December, but we've only gotten better since then.
Huh. I mean, their biggest guy is 6'9". He might have some serious heart. They're tiny, man.
Might have heart.
They're tiny. Literally Sacred Heart. They might have heart. Quinnipiac thinks they are better than everyone else at life. Why is that? Would love to hear that reasoning. Or sell job in chat. That's got to be an alumni of one of their rivals.
Has to.
Sounds like something I'd say about UVA.
Yeah.
All right, Jovan. Maybe that is weird. Quinnipiac's not catching more line respect. If you're saying they've been catching hella, steam and line respect all season. They are in second place, and in my opinion, they are the best overall roster and team in this conference. So maybe that cancels out the fact that Sacred Heart's the hottest team in basketball. You won't see me with a play in this game, but that total has also moved up like 4 or 5 points, Jovan. And chat's asking if we like points in this game. I mean, Quinnipiac has been putting up plenty of points, and their defense has been nothing to write home about. They've cashed 5 straight overs in a row. Sacred Heart, they're coming off an under. But we know they can score. They put up 89 points against Ryder 2 games ago. Maybe it's the over up 5 points.
Just might be. You doubt that.
Deadly Bird like Siena, UCLA, San Jose State. Sure. Shout out UC Davis last night, bro. They did it again.
Crazy. Yeah. Didn't cover. It was a Hofstra situation.
Yeah, coin respecters.
Yeah.
They did not cover, but
-1.5. Found a way to find a way in between. Unbelievably.
Yep. Unbelievable. And yes, shout out William and Mary. I was very, very happy to see that outcome. And I was talking about it in chat during TMA. But I mean, Mikey, if you're listening, that could not have gone better, that outcome. You got the ML, I got the spread. Bada bing, bada boom. It's not easy to hit the middle like that very often, but it's good to see that come through. And the Tribe are still undefeated at home this season. That's one of the best stories in college basketball. Yeah. Good for William and Mary. Good for them. All right, Penn and Yale. Can it get much worse for Penn?
Probably
They've lost 3 straight in a row again after finally getting back on track. They did almost beat Princeton. Kind of a blue balls game there. Lost by 2. They did cover that +8 spreads at home. But tonight's they head to the roads, and they got to face off against probably the hottest team in the Ivies, Yale. And the Bulldogs are on fire, dudes. They just put up 103 points against Cornell on the road in their last game. Jovan, this is the ultimate fat, happy, and complacent spot for Yale.
Wow.
If you believe in that type of thing, this is the ultimate fade spot for the Bulldogs. You won't get a better fade spot for a team that thinks they don't got to wake up and try in this game as Penn comes into town, a team that they typically destroy and manhandle. They've actually already beaten them by 29 points only a few days ago this season. So it's got to be Penn on the road with the points, catching 2 points of steam as well. This one's looking at me funny.
You got a back-to-back too, Krabs.
Penn should be getting 20 points, bro.
Yeah, Yale playing Princeton tomorrow. They got the whole Ivy slate playing back-to-backs, I believe.
Talk about a fucking look-ahead spot. What do they have to get up for against Penn today? They got a much better Harvard team. Nothing. That team's nothing to write home about, but a better squad than UPenn, that's for sure.
Princeton. But yes.
Excuse me, Princeton. Princeton's goods.
Yeah.
Princeton's goods. That's a legitimate look ahead spot. Damn. Bro, what the heck did they have to get up for today? This is a great spot. That's probably why they're catching steam. I would love to see the splits in this game.
I mean,
Penn
Penn is also playing tomorrow, for what it's worth. I think a lot of the conference might be, but it's a little different, obviously, when you're the massive favorites as far as the look ahead spot goes.
Yeah, there's no fat, happy, complacent spot for Penn.
No.
Can't afford it.
They're already dead.
Can't afford it. What'd you guys think of the Four Nations last night? You guys enjoy it?
Yeah, USA, legacy little stretch.
Would they go down 0-1 and then they stomped on them 6-1?
Yeah, I mean the way Finland plays is just like it's like a soccer team that sits in the back. There's physical, odd, defensive, and I mean they really don't have the names, but they try to piece it together. So once the USA figured that out, I mean they just bludgeoned them. So that was what to be expected.
Sure. Okay. No games tonight, I believe.
No, just games tomorrow though. Yeah, USA Canada's tomorrow, and then the other two teams are playing, of course, but that's the headliner.
Okay. Let me know in chat if you guys want us to circle back and talk a little bit about Four Nations for tomorrow at the end of the show. We only got about 10 minutes left, though, because we're going to spend extra time on the squad ride today. All of us. Everybody in here. Okay? So let's go ahead and try to wrap up college basketball so we can talk about hockey for a minute. Not many games left. Ryder and Iona. I've got nothing, man. Iona's been on fire. I don't think they're very good. I guess I would lean Ryder in this spot, but they're also coming off a win, so I'm not really enticed to back them. But Iona's coming off of a couple really good games, playing their best stretch of the season after an abysmal start. I'd probably lean Ryder with the points. That could be another one of those dogs on the road spots under 10 points. It's just been a cash cow this season.
Yeah, wouldn't hate that at all.
Thoughts on Merrimack, Manhattan?
It's a gross game. Really, I don't know, odd spot. Merrimack's been really good lately in terms of just getting the results. They haven't been particularly convincing against some of the bottom teams in the MAC, but might be a spot where they are. I think it'll be close for a while. I worry about them getting that final push because that's been their problem for like the last couple weeks, but still probably lean their way. Not confident enough to take it, though.
Okay. All right. Cornell, Harvard's? Nothing.
Yeah.
Lean Harvard, not betting it.
Similar situation, I guess. Not that it's Princeton coming in, but another two sets of teams playing the back-to-backs, of course, and Cornell's doing both of them on the road, I believe. So you're going to play Dartmouth tomorrow.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
And they're probably bussing around. They're probably not even flying. That's brutal.
Yeah.
All right, two more games I'm going to throw at you in college basketball here to wrap this puppy up. We got Wright State getting 6.5 points on the road against Milwaukee. Don't get too excited now about that one.
Yeah. I mean, Wright State got murked in that first matchup. They almost gave up 100 points. I mean, the game wasn't even close. Now, obviously, script is flipped a little bit in terms of the spread. Maybe they just get back on the road. That could be your road dog.
Little Wright State road dog action?
Yeah.
Might be my least favorite conference in college basketball.
Yeah, the Horizon is so frustrating, especially when you get to like these standalone slates like this.
All right, one more game. One of the better games of the night tonight, folks. UCLA road favorites against Coach Woodson and Jovan's Hoosiers. Need the Indiana report here.
Yeah, I didn't feel confident enough to put them up there with some of my other Indiana wagers in terms of confidence, but kind of like the Hoosiers tonight.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of Indiana love or a lot of UCLA love because, I mean, they're favorites on the road, sure. I mean, UCLA has struggled on the road, so I guess seeing them as a favorite coming off of a loss seems like an inherently sharp spot, but I don't know. I just feel like this is a tough team to figure out because everybody else wanted to fade them when they went to Illinois, their last game, and they actually played pretty well. They held the team that was, obviously the shooting emphasis with kind of a different inside presence than Indiana in Illinois, held them to a pretty good percentage when it mattered in that game. They're trying to keep it close at the end. So I think a team that's built a little differently in Indiana is going to give them a little more trouble because UCLA as slow and defensive as they are, they're not like this big physical presence at the rim. Like Mara is good, and they've given him kind of an increased role, and he's been much better in that sense. But when you roll up the two bigs and Renault and Balo, I don't think you can hang with that. And Mbako, when they just kind of let him do what he wants to do, he's the key to unlocking a defense like that. So, I mean, I like the Hoosiers. I don't know if I'm getting there to take them, but you got any thoughts?
I got one thought in this game. I don't know what I lean on a side or total. I wish I could give you more. I wish I could agree with you. I really do not like this game. This game has my brain in an actual blender. I've had trouble with Indiana this season. Although shout outs the other night, buzzer beater, full court shot. It did come through and find the cash. You've had a much better job. You've done a much better job of reading this team this season. So I'll just let you have this one. But if I had to take something, I was looking at fading Tyler Bilodeau earlier today. Even thought about maybe putting that on the Sharp report after he finally got back on track. First good game in a while, really, since coming back from an injury. I think Indiana plays some defense tonight at home in Assembly Hall. We know they're more than capable of it. Very physical squads. I think they can clamp up UCLA, and I think the same thing could be said the other way around. So I like the under in this game. Is probably what I would bet if I had to on the books, and fading Bilodeau.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
Total's down, actually. 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly be shocked for Indiana UCLA to be a total that's moving up.
Yep. Both these squads play defense, right? I do like the UCLA's coming off a pretty high-scoring game, though, against Illinois on the road.
Yeah.
Wish I could say the same thing for Indiana, who's coming off that big time outright win against Sparty. But, all right. We got by God in the chat. Let's go. There he is. Sure he can.
Yo.
By God. How we doing today? Doing well, my man. Hope you're doing well, too. Happy Friday. By God. Sure. Yeah, let's sting prize picks today. Let's hit some slips. Sorry, some lineups, excuse me. Anybody been collecting those gobbies in the app? Jovan, I don't know if those have been popping up for you down in FL, but
I've been seeing them. I haven't been paying too
anybody
much
in
attention
chat?
to what they are.
Anybody get a rare gobby today? Anybody get the rare Drake gobby?
No way they're handing out Drake gobbies, man.
I saw Hey I'm Matt on X posted. He got a really cool one today. Yeah, there he is in chat. He got a grail.
Wow.
Do we know what that means? Hey I'm Matt. Or is it just like a cool collectible? I'm
Yeah,
hearing
I just got
rumors that if you
normal one.
if you go 10 for 10 or whatever, if you hit a lineup every day during this stretch, you get a free lineup at the end. Is what I'm hearing. Pretty cool. I've got 4 as well, guys. Yeah. I think you got to hit a lineup to get one.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right. Turner Mac, that's also what I was trying to figure out today. So if anybody knows how to go look at their gobbies, where is that library at? Would love to know because I want to peep mine. I forget if I got a cool one today or not, but you get a share of $5 million in free play. Let's fucking go. Hey on that. Attaboy. I saw you're still in it right now too. Very cool. All right. Well, that means we got to hit a lineup today again. Sure. All right. Let's keep moving to groove and chat. We got 2 minutes until we're getting to the squad rides. I want Jovan's take on the hockey games tomorrow in 4 Nations, if he has any plays.
I mean, no, I can't really say I have any plays, to be honest with you, Krabs. I haven't got there yet.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, why don't we look at them real quick? Maybe I can ask you some cues.
Sure.
Gootsy, can I have them up?
Sure.
All right. Let me pull up the odds.
Well, I'll tell you, I think this is how it's going to go because the Finland game is first. So
Yep.
in the case, in the case that Sweden, I think they have to win in reg. Canada is also going to have to win in reg. So I think, I don't know. I haven't looked to see where the expanded markets are in that, but if you are taking the USA and that ends up being what happens in the first game, take them in reg because they're going to need to win in reg, or Canada's going to need to do something to at least make something shake in that game. So take USA. They're going to be pulling. Canada's going to be pulling in the end of the third period if it ends up playing like that. So it's sitting at a pick'em, Krabs, USA and Canada, which is somewhat interesting.
I'm hearing chat saying USA opened up dogs. Now I'm seeing -110 both ways. what did you think you were going to see for odds here?
I mean, I would have liked to see it, or not like to see it, but I would have expected a little more Canada respect.
You would have expected USA plus chicken, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Especially now that they just said Cale Makar is expected to play.
Wow.
So that was
good news.
a question mark. So I know it's still going to be a question mark up going until game time tomorrow. But I mean that top line is still just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Am I reading in chat? We got a Trent CBB Max play today.
CBB Max.
Or is that Goots? Is that a Goots Maxer? That might be Trent.
No, that's not Goots, man.
Very curious. Trent, dude, I'm all ears.
Let me hear the Max.
Say that again. I know. We gotta get to it. All right, Trent. Let me know what that play is. Jovan, I'm intrigued to bet the US. Now to pick them against Canada, who has the best team in this tournament, right?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to bet the US. That could be fun. That could be a fun sweat tomorrow night. Very rarely do I ever get to take fun plays.
Yeah, rare Krabs Patriot bet.
Okay. Sure. All right. Let's get to it, chat. I want to spend extra quality time today with all you. All right. As we craft up a squad ride, we are going to take our time and move at a snail's pace. And we're going to talk through all of our potential options here over the next 20 minutes. Gootsy, if you don't mind, go ahead and run that shit. I want to see that damn train. And yes, if ASIM has a tennis whale, we're going to need that puppy in chat. Want to make sure that doesn't get swept. Okay. Here's the deal, guys. Squad rides have been moose shit. Not going to sugarcoat it. They've been bad. Okay. We have to be better. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about us up here on the screen. All right. We're cutting down the cards. We're giving you guys our most confident plays today on the boards. Don't care what sport it is. Don't care what time it's at. Don't care what league it's in. Doesn't matter. All right. Favorite plays today. Jovan, I'm looking at yours.
I don't really have much I can contribute here, Krabs, because these are early plays and pitch plays.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take command. And I'm putting Sienna money line in this fucker.
Get it active.
I'm putting Sienna in. If I put Niagara in, they're going to lose. So I'm going to let that be a side split.
CBB Max is Marist.
We might be back, folks. We might be back, folks. Let's fucking go, Trent. I'm so bricked. Let's fucking go, dudes. Yes. Yes. We got life. Sienna Saints are getting my vote. But let's keep moving here. Jovan, I also want to put Penn plus 15.5 in here because they might win outright.
Chris, you put them in.
Yeah, San Jose State a winner or what, man?
I think they're a winner.
Yeah.
But I would say keep them out just because, I mean, we're taking them without one or two of their best players. So we don't really know the full situation.
We don't want a Miami Heat situation, do we?
Yeah, don't need that. Don't need that.
Okay.
Yeah, how did you decide
that makes
on
two
that
of us, bro.
How did you decide? I got to know.
Yeah, I need a sell job.
What lab process brought you to Marist?
I need a sell job.
Win or lose, I'm curious.
I mean, it does look like a good-looking play on the books, right?
I mean, like, kind of.
Sienna's dog shit.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know how much he took anything into account. That's my question.
Oh, wait, Jovan, I just found our third play for the squad ride poll.
What's the third play?
Kent State minus 5.5.
My God.
By God.
Oh, my God.
So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to put the poll up yet. We're going to let these puppies bake.
We're baking.
We're going to let these puppies bake for a second here. We got 3 options in the bank. We got Sienna on the ML, which is fading Trent's mono POD. You got Penn plus 15.5 in the ultimate fat, happy, and complacent spot for their opponents tonight as they have a big game against Princeton tomorrow that matters. Yale, the hottest team in college basketball, low key right now. Sit at 14-6, looks like a shoe-in to win their conference and get back into March Madness this season. Well, I think UPenn's got something to say about that shit. And I think they're going to be the hungrier dog on the road tonight, just like a lot of hungry dogs have been in CBB on the road so far this season. We've got Kent State. And I'll be honest, chat, you guys probably hate that play's guts. And you know what? You should. You should always hate a play's guts. That's how you know you're on the right fucking side. You should never be comfortable locking in a play. If you are, the book's got you right where they want you. All right? Kent State has to be I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive the entire game because my heart might explode during it while I'm watching POD. Yeah. Who the fuck wants to bet on them against Ohio? Ohio's already beaten them once shorthanded. Ohio was predicted to win the conference preseason. Kent State has not respected coins at all this season, not once in a sharp spot. Well, that changes tonight at home against the Bobcats. Kent State gets it done. They win by 10 plus.
I agree. I hate that I agree.
Yeah. And that's how I know it's a good fucking play. Right? W's.
Yeah.
Now, Jovan, I was going to bring this up to you guys because we have not had our fastball in the squad ride poll in recent days. If we ever needed to put in a player prop or a prize pick square, I'm just saying we could do it. Maybe today's not the day when you got 2 NBA squares involved. Right?
Yeah,
but if you come up here and look me in the eyes and you say, Krabs, I got a square today that's fucking turning green. And you know what? We're going to make that a squad ride. Then we're going to ride with it. Maybe it's not Reed Shepherd in the, rookie game tonight or the Young Legends games tonight. But keep that in mind going forward.
Going forward, we'll keep it in the holster. I think we've gotten past that arc of BTL where it's fully not allowed. But yeah, I don't know if I have it in me to come up here and say, as much as I love the square, love the angle, that Reed Shepherd points in the Rising Stars Challenge is a squad ride.
Yeah, I'd probably make some calls to some mental institutes if you did.
Yeah.
Looking to check you in probably this weekend. So we can leave that out. Okay? Amending the BTL constitution, eh? Hey, man, if you can't adapt, survival of the fittest out here in these parts. If you can't change, if you can't better yourself every fucking day, get 1% better. It's the corniest quote of all time, but it's true. If you can't make changes, if you can't make amends, if you can't get better, then you lost your fastball. Has to be done. Okay? And again, we appreciate all the subbies coming in today. Gummy One, Sticks Picks, you guys are fucking goated. To Juice, Desert Punk coming in on TMA. Gassing up Mikey and Josh, you dropping some subbies. We appreciate all you guys.
Let's go.
Okay? Dubs. Rito, I'm inspired today, brother. I told you, I woke up naturally, early before my alarm, just waiting to fucking get involved in this MAC slate tonight. And I'm not talking about Kent State, Ohio. I'm talking about the MAC with 2 A's. And I'm talking about
get
Niagara.
up and look at your go squares?
No, I didn't. Baseball season with player prop squad ride sounds so goated. I mean, yeah, that's the perfect time where we might even need to pull some of those in, right? Dog days of summer when we're just absolutely fucking dialed. So I'll be honest with you. You guys know Javon's better at prize picks than me. That's for sure. Although we've been doing pretty well of late, knock on wood. But baseball is where I probably do my best work on the prize picks app. And those nasty fades, they play in MLB. So I am stoked. Only a couple weeks out, folks. Right?
Yeah. Do you have any Krabs goat whale candidates on your mind yet?
I don't know if have we earned the right to talk about it yet? Are we set on these 3 yet?
Yeah, I think we're set on these 3.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do, Gutsy, if you don't mind. How many minutes does it let you put a poll up for? Does it give you a 10-piece? Very, very curious.
No, I know it at least gives you 5, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, why don't you fire that puppy up?
Let him marinate.
For 10 minutes, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want that puppy to marinate like a chicken breast in my fridge. Okay? Yeah, that could be the difference. We'll see if it works. Give you guys plenty of time today. Okay, 3 plays, 3 winners. Kent State -5.5. Penn plus 15.5, and Siena on the money line. 3 plays, 3 winners. Not overthinking shit.
No shot Trent has a Fugazi 5 today.
How can you have a Fugazi 5 and not a surge stream? I'll say it.
That's unbelievable.
I'll say it. Check that math for me. Jovan, 3 plays, 3 winners. Siena, ML. Penn plus 15.5. Kent State minus 5.5. Would you like to talk about some MLB squares?
I think we should. I'm interested to see where your head's at, because I feel like you pulled out some squares in both sports, I guess, NFL and NBA, or NFL and MLB last year. I was like, what? How did they find their way into the Krabs Go Well? And they spawned. So I'm curious to see where your head's at here early.
People forget the Daniel Baird square of 2023.
I've never seen a greater prize pick square in my lifetime, and it's not even conversation.
They're going to have an ESPN 30 for 30 about that square one day.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell my grandkids about it. All right. I do have a couple thoughts. And you know what? Maybe we could even get Gucci involved in here as well. You know, he's just foaming at the mouth getting ready for baseball season. And I'm sure he'll have some takes on some of these season-long squares. Corbin Burns. I'm sorry, Goots, but I will go for the jugular here. Corbin Burns. I've already seen it. He's having a 2 ERA this season. He's leading the league in ERA.
Goots, get the slip off the screen. This cookie slip.
I don't know what you're talking
these horrendous players.
Is that Lamar Jackson?
Corbin's probably going to be Cy Young for sure. I don't disagree with you.
Goots, I can't believe you just pulled that up. Is that your season long?
Yep, that's season long. 2-piece nuke.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. All right, I'll give you a couple thoughts. Let me get Corbin Burns less than 3.35 ERA. After he let down all the O's fans last year. Embarrassing. He should have been better. He wasn't terrible.
No, he
should have been better.
He pitched an amazing game in the playoffs when we didn't score a single run to help him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was the disappointing
would have
part.
Scored
he had
a
couple.
Maybe he would still be an Oriole.
He had a couple questionable performances like throughout the year, but like at the end, it was just because Gunnar sucked, Adley was hurt and sucked.
Yeah,
nobody could hit except for Tony.
Exactly
Davis.
what we paid him to do in the playoffs. So.
I don't know. He just didn't look like the same dominant force he was in Milwaukee. I'll say it.
I don't know.
But an AZ.
Corbin Burns. How do you think he'll pitch in that stadium out there? Do you think that'll hurt him? Do you think that'll help him?
I mean, it's
pretty
definitely
big stadium, but the gaps are pretty big too. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a stadium upgrade by any means for a pitcher.
Camden Yards is definitely a pitcher's park now too.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
the wall back in, so it's a little less of a pitcher's park now. But
people
yeah,
forget that.
a little bit. But you got to think too. Also, I mean, he's getting to face the Dodgers a couple more times a year now. He's going to end up going to Coors a couple times a year. So I mean, overall, like pitching environment is definitely a little worse. But I still think he's going to be Corbin Burns of old.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also picked this team because his family lives there, and he just had a kid and all that. So personal life, he's a little looser, so that helps.
Yeah, but maybe he's not fucking dialed in, Gates.
That could also be true. Who knows? But he did say Tony Lavolo. There was a quote that went out. He said he's ready to win some fucking games. So he's hype.
Okay.
So
well, maybe he is in the right headspace then. Okay.
I think he is. Yeah.
Look, he had a lot of pressure last year on the O's, right? One of the only good veteran arms on that team. They brought him in to carry the weight and be the ace, and at times he was, at times he wasn't. He still had a good season overall, okay, but was a little up and down and inconsistent. We'll see what happens on his new squads. You guys have talked me enough out of it to at least look at other options.
You know what? I'm a little, I don't know, maybe this is more Krabs, but you know when you get a pitcher like Corbin Burns in the rotation, especially when you already have an established ace who still did go over his ERA, shout out Gallon, tends to make all the other pitchers in the rotation, I don't know, gives them a little motivation to be better, and they make some tweaks to their own arsenal, learn from them. First square on the board is Mr. Inconsistent over there. Brandon Pfaadt. That's under 4.
I like me some Brandon Fall.
I love
Talk about
Brandon Fall.
inconsistent.
That's a Krabs guy right there.
Inconsistent. It's probably the best way to describe his game. Extremely up and down, but he showed flashes last year.
Mm.
If you didn't see it, you don't know ball.
Yeah, maybe seen
He's got it in him.
2 years from now. It's
more
you got to
last
put
year.
it all together. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of it last year is because, I mean, Gallen wasn't nearly as good, I guess, throughout the whole season. And he also didn't give them as much length because he always had 40 pitch innings and for half of the season figured out his way out of it. But you had him, you had the Monty situation, you had the Erod situation. There was like a lot of press and pressure on like the back end guys like fought to give them like quality innings. So like now you have Burns and more health, I guess, coming into the season. It's a lot less pressure. So maybe he comes back and he shows a little more consistency.
He does have a win square up, like Chad was asking about. 9.5 wins. Got a 3.9 ERA square, which I think was the one Jovan was talking about. Okay. Damn, he's got 2.5 10-plus strikeout game square up there.
Ooh.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they put those up.
I didn't even know either.
When did
Right
those
in
go
front
on
of my
board?
face. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they have multi-home run game squares up now, too. We got some more
Oh,
categories up here.
When did these spawn, dude?
Oh. Chat, this is a free square.
Gunner 2.5, I'm sure. Dude.
Free square.
I'm actually sure.
This is probably air.
There.
So air.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, they got it back up again. Allie was at a half last year. That was in Chaco's go well.
You got any weird half guysers down there? Can't see him too much.
JT is a little weird. MJ. Michael Harris.
MJ's up again.
Who is?
MJ?
Yep.
Guarantee you he hits one first month of the season.
Guaranteed. Michael Harris had like 2 of them last year. He's on my fantasy team. So
yeah.
That could be a look.
MJ is going to be dude.
I want to go ahead and let you guys know to probably stay off of CJ Abrams stolen bases this year. Hearing rumors that he's bulked up a little bit, and he's only worked on his defense all offseason. He's coming in locked the fuck in. Showed up at camp early.
Play, right?
He showed up at camp early. He's been dialed. He's been training. He's been quiet. He's been staying away from the casinos.
Hold on. There's actually no way Trent just dropped a Fugazi 5 with a soccer team he probably didn't know existed before today. College baseball team he probably didn't know existed before
UCSB
today.
is air.
Are you kidding me, man?
He's got your team in there, baloney.
Yeah, Bologna. That's unbelievable.
He's taking the Norse against Green Bay. Okay.
Yeah, he's tailing Kent State. So GG Kent State.
You like that Kent State saw job, huh, Trent? Shit. All right. Well, we're about to close this puppy down in a second here. Is the poll still up? It looks like it is. What's about to win? Sienna. Hell yes.
Saints.
Good. Looks like it's going to be Sienna. Get your votes in, guys. Couple minutes left. Couple seconds left. Excuse me. All right. And we got, what else was I going to bring up here? No surge stream today. That's what it was. All right. But W stream today, guys. Lock in your votes for these squad rides. And real quick, Goots, for our OGs who are still in here on a Friday, I can go ahead and drop the link too, but I'll put that Bookit questionnaire in the chat. If you guys want to get involved, you got it? Cool. If you want to get involved, let us know what you want to see more of in the Big 2-5 from the Bookit Squads. Do me a favor. I saw a couple people yesterday say they filled it out after we talked about it. Fill this out this afternoon, please. Okay, it shouldn't take you long. Put in as much effort as you want to. I think there's some text boxes you can fill in and let us know your thoughts. But we want to hear from you guys, our GOATs, our OGs, who are always in here during streams. We're not posting this on the feeds or the socials. We want your guys' opinions, the people who are in here day in, day out grinding. Okay? We want your opinions. We want your thoughts. We have the link in the Twitch chat right now. Get involved. Fill that out for me this afternoon if you can. All right? And looks like the squad ride tonight, Jovan, the Sienna Saints. Your favorite team. Sure. All right. Chat, we'll meet you guys at the cash counter tonight after some W action. And we'll catch you guys on Monday. Next week, same time, same place.